Here we're going to take a moment to explore the experience, the opportunity, and the art of making the ask. In other words, once you've drawn a community member into your donor funnel, how do you move them towards the first solicitation where you actually ask them for a gift to the organization? Now, not every person who donates to the organization will do so after being solicited, after receiving an ask from a board member or some other representative of the organization. Some will simply see the work that you do and volunteer to make such a donation. You hopefully have opportunities for um, giving on your website, in your social media, in other ways in which your organization connects to your communities. But asks are an important part of that process as well. When you make an ask, you want to be specific and concrete about the ask. Ambiguity reduces the likelihood of actual giving. And you want to make sure that you do, in fact, make the ask. In other words, don't simply talk about the organization or talk around the needs of the organization. Ensure that there's a moment where you actually make an ask to the potential donor. Anchor the ask in the donor's values and prior engagement. So if they've come to particular types of activities that your organization is involved in, then focus on those strategies. You can, in the conversation, mention the other activities of the organization and see if they have an interest in that as well. But I would really anchor and situate the ask in the work that they've already been engaged with so far. Frame this around the impact of the organization rather than the needs of the organization. So going in with data, with statistics on the number of people who've been impacted by the work of the organization, the number of communities that have been changed in one way or another, books provided to school children, participants in various programs, um, um, uh, uh, buildings that have been saved, buildings that have been built, things like that. Whatever it is, the work of the organization is, you want to be able to discuss that in both quantifiable ways and qualitative ways. So, quotes from participants can be just as powerful as statistics. And make the ask directly and confidently. Use clear language. I'd like to ask you to, and then pause and give the donor space to respond instead of talking past the moment. Sometimes we can be so nervous about an ask that we'll just talk and keep talking around it, talking beyond it, and never giving them a chance to actually directly answer the question that we've asked them about are they prepared to make a donation, to commit to a donation to the organization? So ensure that you actually ask that question, make the ask, and stop yourself. Stop after that and give them a chance to answer. As an activity, I want you to work on this with a partner. So practice making an ask using the guidelines that I just went through. After you make an ask, provide each other with constructive feedback. So this is a step further than the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch can bring someone into the donor funnel. This is once you get them deeper into that funnel, how do you actually move them from making them aware of the organization to being prepared to donate to the organization? And I highly encourage you at the end of your partner's ask, say yes. This is an opportunity for you to make an additional contribution right now. So this workshop is a chance for your organization to raise some additional dollars, to raise some additional money. So take a moment now to engage in this activity. For discussion purposes, identify the tangible and intangible impacts of each of the organization's activities. Maybe when you were practicing with the ask just a moment ago, you might have hit some stumbling blocks around actual data, actual tangibles. And so you want to be able to identify those. And so this is a chance for you to say, what were the gaps? What were we missing that we need to go out and gather information on? Maybe you can do that information gathering right now collectively, or maybe you need to actually do some additional homework. So document what comes out of this conversation. Document these tangible and intangible impacts of the organization's activities. Have a resource document of quotations that participants might have given after key activities, an ongoing series of statistics around numbers of participants in various activities and so forth. a list of activities over the past year. So document all these tangible impacts of the organization. So take some time to have that conversation right now. And finally, some resources for further learning, a few things that you can read to learn more about the experience of making the ask, and a video that you can watch about the experience as well.